Joseph Wambaugh, the legendary crime writer and former Los Angeles police officer, has passed away at the age of 88 on February 28, 2025. His work revolutionized crime literature, bringing a level of realism to police stories that had never been seen before. Through his novels and non-fiction books, he pulled back the curtain on the lives of police officers, showing not just their heroism, but also their struggles, dark humor, and the psychological toll of the job. Born on January 22nd in 1937 in East Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Wambaugh grew up in a working-class family. His father was a police officer, which meant that law enforcement was always a part of his life. As a teenager, his family moved to Fontana, California, where he finished high school. At the young age of 17, he joined the U.S. Marine Corps, serving his country before eventually deciding to follow in his father's footsteps. By the time he was 18, he had already married his lifelong partner, Dee Alsop, a testament to the stability and determination that would define his life. His journey into law enforcement began in 1960 when he joined the Los Angeles Police Department. He quickly climbed the ranks, going from patrolman to detective sergeant over 14 years. During his time in the LAPD, he witnessed the realities of police work, the danger, the bureaucracy, the moments of heroism, and the personal toll it took on officers. These experiences shaped his perspective, and he began writing about them, not as glorified action stories, but as deeply human tales filled with complexity, humor, and tragedy. While still an active duty officer, he wrote his first novel, The New Centurions, which was published in 1971. Unlike the typical heroic police stories of the time, Wambaugh's book painted a raw and emotional portrait of what it meant to be a cop. It wasn't just about catching criminals. It was about the personal sacrifices, the mental struggles, and the brotherhood that developed among officers. The book was an immediate success, praised for its authenticity and depth. Hollywood took notice, and the novel was soon adapted into a movie starring George C. Scott and Stacy Keach. His next novel, The Blue Knight, 1972, cemented his status as one of the most important crime writers of his time. This book, which followed the life of a veteran LAPD officer nearing retirement, was yet another masterful blend of drama, realism, and insight into police culture. It was adapted into a television movie starring William Holden, which later became a TV series. But Wambaugh was not just a novelist. He was also a pioneer of true crime writing. His book, The Onion Field, 1973, was a haunting and deeply researched account of the real-life kidnapping and murder of an LAPD officer in 1963. The book went beyond just detailing the crime. It explored the psychological impact on the surviving officer, the legal battles that followed, and the larger implications for law enforcement. It became one of the best-selling crime books of all time and was later made into a movie in 1979. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Wambaugh continued to write books that pushed the boundaries of crime fiction and non-fiction. His novel, The Choir Boys, 1975, shocked readers with its dark humor and brutally honest portrayal of police officers blowing off steam after long shifts. The book was controversial, but highly influential. showing a side of law enforcement that had never been explored in literature before. His later works, like The Black Marble, 1978, The Glitter Dome, 1981, The Delta Star, 1983, and Lines and Shadows, 1984, continued to showcase his talent for blending humor, drama, and social commentary. His influence was not just limited to books. His stories shaped how police officers were portrayed in Hollywood. He consulted on numerous television shows and movies, ensuring that their depictions of law enforcement were more accurate than the typical good cop versus bad guy cliches. Many modern crime writers, filmmakers, and even police officers credit Wambaugh with changing the way people viewed law enforcement. Even after his retirement from writing, Wambaugh's books remained classics in crime literature. His gripping narratives and detailed storytelling continue to be studied by aspiring writers and filmmakers. In 2004, he received one of the highest honors in crime writing, the Grand Master Award from the Mystery Writers of America. This Lifetime Achievement Award recognized his groundbreaking contributions to the genre. His passing marks the end of an era, but his legacy will live on through his books, films, and the countless writers and filmmakers he inspired. His ability to tell raw, powerful, and deeply human stories about police officers and crime will never be forgotten. What are your thoughts on Joseph Wambaugh's legacy? Have you read any of his books or watched any of the movies based on his work? Let us know in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel Legacy Lives On for more videos about the lives and legacies of famous personalities. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.